Hey guys, Mr. Bowman here. So our view's a little bit different today. We've got a split screen going. We've got paint on the right, on the left-hand side, so I can write and explain things to you guys, and we've got Desmos on the right-hand side. And partway through the video, I am going to switch back to a PowerPoint so I can show us how to do the maths behind certain equations. So what we're going to do today is we're focusing on parabolas again, and our learning objective is we are learning to determine the equation of a given parabola. Emphasis added on this last part. We are learning to use the vertex method. And so first thing, just want to emphasize what the vertex is. So the vertex is also called the turning point. And if you look at our parabola this way, that's the bit at the end where it goes from having a negative gradient to a positive gradient. So based on this point, we can see how much it moves left or right, or how much it moves up or down to determine the equation. And I'll show us in a bit more detail about what that means. And the equation that I want us to follow is y is equal to a, and then in brackets x plus b squared plus c. And then I'll show us what all of those do as well. So to recap, that c value, what that did is that moved our basic parabola, it moved it up and down. And I'll show us quickly, just to recap. So y is equal to x squared, that's our basic parabola. And noted, that turning point, that always starts at 0, 0. So that's really, really important. And that moves up and down, left or right. And if it goes up 1, well, that's going to end up at positive 1. And it can also be moved down, and then I'll move that down to -3. So if we can find how much it's been moved up or down, we can find out what that C value is. The B, that is how much it moves left and right. And I just want to emphasize, if it's been moved left, it's the opposite. So it'll be a positive value. And if it's been moved right, it would be in the positive, so the opposite value would be a negative sign. Let's quickly get into an example with that. So what I'll do is I'll leave the -3 there, and what I'll do is I'll add a +1 in the brackets, and we can see the vertex has moved to -1, because the opposite of +1 is -1. And let's try -1, so that should go to +1, perfect. And let's try a bigger number, let's say -7, and we expect that to move to +7, because it's the opposite. And there you go, you can see that vertex is now at +7. So that moves it up or right, or left or right, based on the opposite values. And the final one was the A value. This one here we have to mathematically calculate, but that is to do with the width of the parabola, how skinny or how fat that parabola is. So let's have a look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make it skinnier. So I want to put a number greater than 1, so I'm going to put 4. So look how skinny that is. And if I want to make it wider, let's make it 0.25 or a quarter. Look how wide that is as well. So all 3 components form part of our equations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draft up 3 questions, or 3 parabolas for us. I'm going to revert back to our PowerPoint work or screen, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go through that formula and how to calculate the formula for each of those 3 given graphs. So if you haven't, please make sure you get the learning objective, the notes on the paint down. So you may need to pause the video for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and set up our PowerPoint. Okay guys, we're back and we are on the PowerPoint function now. And as promised, on the right hand side, I've got 4 parabolas. We've got a point, we can see a point on each of these parabolas. And we can see the vertex pretty clearly from each of those. And from that, we're going to be able to use the formula y is equal to a, and then in brackets x plus b squared plus c. And just to recap again, the c is how much the vertex has been moved up or down. B relates to how much it's been moved left or right. And I'll show us what I mean by this, but A, we need to calculate that. And those points on the screen, we actually have to use those points to calculate that. So what I'm going to do, let's get into question 1. So we'll do question 1 up the top here. So question 1, so we need to identify the vertex, and that is at point 0, 0. So we then got to ask ourselves, how much Has that moved up or down? So it actually hasn't moved up or down. So in our case, C will be equal to 0. No movement up or down. It is upside down, but the vertex is still at that same point. Let's have a look at B. How much has it moved left or right? So again, it hasn't moved either. So it hasn't been moved left or right. That means B will be equal to 0. And what we need to do is we need to put them into our formula. So x plus 0 squared plus 0. I'm then going to look to simplify this. So y is going to be equal to ax squared, because that 0 is going to go away and that 0 is going to go away. Okay, and at this point here, we then look at the coordinate. So we need to find a point on the graph. I'm going to give them to us for now. But at that point there, we know that x is negative 1. And we know that y is negative 2. So if we follow that back, the x on the x-axis is negative 1, and the y on the y-axis is negative 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to put those two numbers into our equation to mathematically solve for a. So we figured out that y, so what is y? Y is negative 2, so that's going to be negative 2 is going to be equal to a times x is negative 1, that'll be negative 1 squared. We then go through and use our algebra procedures to solve for a. So negative 1 squared is 1. 1 times a is a. So that's going to leave a on that side. And that means a is negative 2. And that makes sense because it looks a bit skinnier than a regular parabola, hence the 2. And it's upside down. So that's why it's negative. And what we're going to do is we're going to put that back into our final equation. So therefore, y is going to be equal to negative 2x squared. Cool, so we've done that for the first one. Let's change pen color to have a look at our next example. So let's look at yellow. So number 2, first thing we need to look at is, has it moved, or we need to find the vertex first. So graph number 2, so the vertex is there. So we need to think, has it been moved up or down? So it looks like it's been moved up 3. So that means our C value is going to be positive 3. And the B value, has it been moved left or right? So it doesn't look like it's moved left or right. So that means C or B is going to be equal to 0. We're then going to put those into our equation. So y is going to be equal to ax plus 0 squared plus 3. And we're then going to simplify that. So y is going to be equal to ax squared plus 3. So hopefully you're happy so far. We're then going to find a point on our graph. So I've been given a point there. And at that point, our x value is equal to 1 and our y value is equal to 4. So we're going to put that information back into our equation. So y was 4. So y is going to be equal to a times 1 squared plus 3. And that's going to become 4 is equal to a, because 1 squared is 1, and 1 times a is a, plus 3. And we're then going to move that 3 to the other side, so it's going to become 4 minus 3 is equal to a, which means a is going to be equal to 1. And that's our last piece of our puzzle. We've got a, we've got b, and we've got c, so let's put that together into a final formula. So y is going to be equal to x squared, because a is 1, so we don't need to put that in there. B was 0, so there's nothing, or there's no bracket. And C has been moved up 3, so plus 3. Very nice. And change pen color again. We use white, and then number 4 is the hardest one, so we'll clear the screen when we get to that question. So question 3, again, we need to find the vertex. So it looks like that vertex is down the bottom there at 2, negative 2. So it looks like it's been moved up or down and left or right. So let's have a look. What does C equal? How much has that been moved up or down? Well, it looks like it's been moved down from 0 to negative 2. Okay, let's have a look at B. How much has it been moved left or right? It's been moved to positive 2, which means we need to use the opposite or the negative value of that, which means B is going to be negative 2. And now that we've done that, we can put both of those into our equation and we can have a go at calculating a. So let's do that now. So y is going to be equal to a of x minus 2 squared minus 2. So we put a and we put b in there. We now need to use that coordinate, so 3, negative 1. And at that point, we know, so at 3, negative 1, we know that x is equal to 3, and we know that y is equal to negative 1. So we're going to put both of those values into our equation. So negative 1 is equal to a of 3 minus 2 squared minus 2. We're going to do that bracket, so that becomes 1, and 1 squared is 1, and 1 times a just becomes a. So that's going to become a minus 2. We're going to move the minus 2 to the other side, so negative 1 plus 2 is going to be equal to a, which means a is equal to 1. And what that means, therefore, y is going to be equal to x minus 2 squared minus 2. And in theory, there is a 1 in front of that bracket for the a, but anything times 1 is the same, so we don't need to put that in there. Awesome. So that was a pretty tricky question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the screen. I'm going to clear our working. If you haven't got the working down in these examples, please pause them and get them down. And then we're going to get into the hard question, question number 4. Okay, guys, we're back and that screen is cleared. Question number 4, the hardest one. We're going to use green. Let's write down, well, firstly, let's find the vertex of this equation. And that vertex is just there. So that's the turning point. So we can visually see that quite easily. So let's have a look at C. How much has that been moved up or down from 0? And it looks like it's been moved up 1. So that means C is going to be plus 1. And we can also have a look at B. How much has it been moved left or right? Well, it's been moved 1, 2, 3, 4. It stops at minus 4, and the opposite of minus 4 is plus 4. So that means B is going to be plus 4. We're now going to put both of those equations into our generalized parabola equation, and we're going to figure out what A is. So let's have a look. So y is going to be equal to A, x plus 4 squared plus 1. From this point here, we've been given a coordinate just over here, and we know point negative 2, 2 sits on our graph. So what that means is x is negative 2 and y is positive 2. And we're going to put both of those numbers back into our equations. So 2 is going to be equal to a of negative 2 plus 4 squared plus 1. We now need to do that maths in the bracket. So negative 2 plus 4, that's going to become positive 2 times positive 2 squared plus 1. Positive 2 squared is 4, so that's going to become 4a. So 2 is equal to 4a plus 1. We're going to get rid of that plus 1 to make it minus on the other side. So that becomes 1 is equal to 4a. And we're going to divide the other side by 4. So that means 1 divided by 4 is equal to a. So we've actually got a fraction of 1/4. And that makes sense given how flat or how wide that graph is. And we can then wrap up our answer by putting it all together. So 1/4 times x plus 4 all squared plus 1 is our final equation of that hard parabola. And you'll see that was more difficult because it had an a, it had a b, and it had a c. So we did everything to that parabola. So awesome. Hopefully you found today's video useful. Today we looked at the vertex method of using or coming up with the equation of parabolas. The next video we're looking at the factorized method, where we're going to be focusing on the x-intercepts. So let's get into some questions.